Welcome to At the Nurses Station, a podcast for nurses about everything except the patients. Sam and I have a fun episode today. We're actually interviewing Sam's dad, which is going to be very fun. But before we get him on, Sam, how are you? What's new?
I'm good. I don't think that anything is new, thankfully, because I don't know. I don't think I can do new things anymore, Kelly. I can't learn new things. I can't add new things to the schedule. We are maxed out. So thankfully it's just the same. Oh, the carpet cleaners are coming next week. So that's exciting.
Best day of your life.
I'm ready for that. And it was way cheaper than I thought it was going to be. So that was great too. How about you? You worked your first couple shifts back?
Yeah, I worked last night, worked the night before, and it was good. We've been kind of like in a lull where we haven't had a whole lot of patients, which makes me uneasy because I feel like respiratory season is coming. And so it's like just waiting for that slam to happen.
Okay, I have a question for you really fast. I always think of respiratory season like winter, not early winter. And I was talking to a provider and she was like, no, usually respiratory season is like November to December. Am I wrong here?
I don't know historically. I guess we just started seeing rhinoenterovirus, and I feel like that's the first one that usually hits. So I feel like influenza is usually later. Last year, influenza was like through the spring.
Yeah, I guess when I think of respiratory season, when we like care about it, I'm like, when am I holding patients? Like when do we have to board like RSVers and just hypoxic kids? And I feel like that is usually more like in the beginning of the year. But yeah, you're wrong. But
you're right.
I admitted an asthmatic every shift I worked, and 2 of them went to the PICU. So I think we're here. I think we have arrived. Okay. For the sake of time, that being said, though, we did work 1 shift together, 2 shifts together, something like that. I have not had so much stinking fun on a shift, I think, than was it Saturday night? I think I just laughed the whole time I was at work. It was
kind of great. Well, we had like all of our besties, and you brought Mexican food in.
Oh yeah,
one of our friends brought cupcakes and cookies, and so that just kind of made everything great.
And one of our friends gave you so much lip at this desk, I couldn't even control myself. I thought it was fantastic. Just literally told Kelly, no, I'm not going to do that. Yeah. And I thought she was kidding at first, but she was not.
Right? Because I was in charge, and there was a form I needed her to fill out, and I handed it to her, and she just goes, no, I'm not doing that. And I'm like, okay. I guess
I don't fill those out. I also don't fill those out, but if my charge nurse handed it to me, I would do it.
I think my response was, thank you for your honesty.
Oh, it was so. And then when she did, all she did was hand it to the parent anyway. She didn't even fill it out. I was just dying. Oh, it was so good. Anyway, I just wanted to say that was such a fun shift, and it got worse after you left, by the way. It didn't improve in any way, shape, or form, but that's okay. Okay. So yes, we are interviewing my dad, which I know podcast land sounds like it might be kind of just like we're searching for people, but I just happen to be very lucky in that I am the daughter of a man who took care of a nurse for, he's going to tell us the exact number, but I want to say 30 years, 30, must have been more than that. 34 years. He'll tell us. I should have asked. A night shift, full-time ICU nurse, charge nurse, then became a house supervisor while they raised their 2 kids and lived a lovely life. And I think that he has a lot of really good skills and experience and insight to impart in the world. So I don't think that this is just because it's my dad. I think just he has a lot of interesting things to tell us. So I thought it might be fun for our listeners and maybe our listeners' spouses, dare I say?
Yeah.
To learn a couple of things that they might not organically find out, or find out before it turns into, I mean, Kelly, what would you call those? like a Cold War over who really should be folding the one basket of laundry in the middle of your like 3 days on.
Or who should cook dinner? Maybe have that planned.
Yeah. Who really should be doing the dishes? And if it's okay that they're done at 8 o'clock in the morning? No.
So Sam doesn't come home and knock over the garbage can?
Oh, yeah. Exactly. Okay. So, So Dad/Alan, welcome to At the Nurse's Station.
Well, thanks for having me. I hope I can give you the world of wisdom that you're expecting.
I think that I always thought that it was like common knowledge how you needed to like behave and handle your nurse spouse, but I'm finding out that it's not. So I think, would you mind just giving us a little bit of your background and like how you all met and maybe, just kind of some of that experience?
I'm going to give you a quick background before we get to your mom. Grew up in Central Washington, and my dad and mom both farmed, but my mom went to work at a convalescent hospital as a associate LVN, not even an LVN, a nurse's aide.
But what I did know, you were raised with a nurse.
She didn't keep that job forever. But what I did learn from it, that from the 3 to 11 shift, that if things were not done when she got home, our dad would let us know when she got home that things weren't done. So in other words, if mom wasn't happy, nobody was happy. So that was the first introduction of, take care of stuff to make your spouse happy through my dad. But as far as when I met Cheryl, just got out of service, male dominated world, and was just looking for a job. I pushed everybody knows what Central Supply is, pushed the little cart around Central Supply or from the floors. And then it was just a small hospital. There probably weren't even 50 beds in it. And she had just took that job there as a nurse. And then so I was working now in a field of 97% women instead of 99% men. And it was quite a change, if you will. So that's where we met. That's where we started dating. And that facility was a big part of our lives until it all, they closed that, shipped us all out to different places. So that's where I started my learning to work with women in a female-dominated world, if you will. So to answer that question, that's how we met. We were married in 88. We met in late 86. So we were together for just about 40 years. So.
Wow. Now, who made the first move?
Oh,
nice job. Being the only guy there, and I was in my mid to late 20s thereabouts. She did, because she kept coming down to the department for dumb stuff. When you're out of 4x4s, you call Central Supply. They run that stuff to you. You know that. She would come down and get it. And then somebody told me, well, the reason she's down there so often. I said, well, I'm not dumb. I know why she's here so often. That's great. So I just asked her out. I just said, I like this girl and she's a nurse and can't go wrong there. Out to see, especially according to my buddy Chuck. So let me tell you about nurse humor at some point, and I'll tell you about a story about him. And he's passed away too. But with all said, she kept coming down there, and we were flirting with each other when I'd go down to drop stuff off. Yes, Sam, you're going to say something.
I was going to say, no, this is way more awkward than I anticipated it being, but go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, no.
You don't already know all these stories, Sam?
Well, I I know them, but I don't talk about my parents flirting with each other.
Oh, I think it's sweet. I love knowing those.
I'm not saying it's not sweet. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Somebody years before that to give me a book called The Art of Wooing. She said I needed help. And so I used that book. And later on, I went and reread it. And all it is the art of persuading people. It's not really about relationships. It is, but it's more about persuading people and asking the right questions to get them to go to the right place. And that's how her and I started dating that way. And one of our first dates, she had too much, and we were going out to eat, and she had too much beforehand, and we got there, and she was not handling it. So we ordered our food. She disappeared. I ate mine, had hers bagged, went and got her from the restroom and took her home, put her to bed, and left and went home. And that was kind of the what gentleman does that. And I'm thinking, well, I just wanted to see her again. So I didn't want to be dumbass either. Excuse me. I didn't want to be dumb about it. I wanted to treat her polite, which you should anyway. But anyway, from there on, we had people pushing us. Sam has probably talked to you about her, Auntie Bobby, the Australian Australian that nurse that Cheryl and I basically grew up together as a couple for a few years, being with her, and we lived with her. And she's not an old battle axe, but she was a nurse that you didn't trifle with. And there were several of them in the hospital we worked at. The nurse had birthed the kids because it wasn't a doctor, and she just took no crap from anybody. So learning about nurses, there you go. I know I'm babbling on. You can stop me anytime. It's okay. Ask another question.
No, I thought Auntie Ray was at that hospital too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she was. Yeah,
yep,
her and your mom competed for, applied for the same job as manager of telemetry, not manager, lead nurse, the charge nurse. They both applied at the same time, and your mom got the job over Ray at that time, and they were best buds. So it was kind of but it all worked out.
Yeah, as we talked about battling for the same job earlier, I think in a podcast last time too.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was like early career, and then mom continued working in the ICU and continued working night shift at a slightly larger facility, I think, right? Later on.
Yes, she actually became more management. She got off the floor, became management, and things took as you guys through your course of careers, I've already gone through it and hit a wrong turn at a facility and decided, and that was one of the deciding factors of moving from Roseville to Porterville, was also just, I wanted her out of that position because she wasn't having any fun. She wasn't taking care of patients. She was taking care of nurses, if you will. I know, right?
I really like how, so tell me a little bit more about that, because I was in a position one time as well, and I was really unhappy. And it was my husband who really came to me and he said, you need to take another job. And I think that was really powerful for me. So what did you see in her, and how did you go about, expressing what you were seeing happening in her career?
Because all that stuff happens slowly over time as certain things happen, but it's the throwing under the bus that was really the last straw for me, that more things were being blamed towards her. And if you knew her, that wasn't her. She was a stand-up, take responsibility and take blame for things that were her fault. But she was also one that, it's not my fault. So we were part of the Mercy healthcare system, because I worked at at a hospital as well, part of Mercy Healthcare. And their manager their director had called her into the office, and that was downtown. And when she went to that meeting, I knew that at that point we were done, because every time, go ahead.
What did you see? But I mean, we're always a little bit pissy, and we're always a little bit tired, and we're always we're always a little bit whiny about, this person that we work with or what management did. What was different about what you saw in mom in that position than maybe in your normal, and like her other positions, that made you say, this isn't, like, we're not doing this anymore?
Well, keep in mind, that's where she started at that facility and progressed up, and it just changed hands. So what I noticed is she just wasn't happy. She wasn't happy about work. She wasn't happy to go there. She was happy to come home, which she should be, but not all the time that I can't wait to get that out of here. And that's when I started noticing that she just wasn't happy. She became a nurse to take care of patients, and she wasn't taking care of patients anymore. So that's when I noticed the change in her. We had a very open relationship of, well, not in the beginning, but we learned like everybody else and we grew. But to talk, just to what's bothering you? Well, this is happening at work. And it's different when it's employees, and when it escalates to management, then that's different, because management is supposed to be bipartisan, supposed to hear both sides. And then that last trip to the director was the last straw of non-partisanship dictators. Yeah. Not that you guys have ever dealt with anybody like that before.
No, only angelic management for my whole career.
Yeah, there you go. So that was kind of the Kelly that approaching her. We just talked about it, but I think it's not so much your husband. I think he helped you make a decision.
Right.
And point you in the right, at least get you to open up about it. And maybe you would want to stay there, but things would have to change if you did.
Yeah. So just really being kind of aware of where your wife is emotionally and kind of just leading her to the decision that she's kind of already made, but maybe
Validation.
wasn't able to pull that trigger herself without your support, it sounds like.
Yeah. And knowing your spouse, which you guys being married, when you go to the store and you've had a bad interaction with the clerk and you come in the house, what's the first thing? What's wrong? Why? Same thing when you come home from work. You know, what's wrong? What's bugging you? They're just trying to help, to be an extra ear.
I don't feel like you or Philip have a different vibe, Dad, when you have a bad interaction with someone outside of the house. I mean, for sure I do, because I carry it all day long, drive me crazy. I'm going to tell everybody about it. But I feel like your personalities are not that much. I'm curious. So you've known a lot of different healthcare individuals, and I know, Kelly, you and I have similar personalities, but we talk about nurses that don't. So I'm curious, in a more general way, Dad, what about the healthcare lifestyle do you think that people misunderstand the most, or like don't understand about sort of the lifestyle that we have to live for those that aren't in healthcare at all? I mean, I think about getting married and then becoming a nurse and the family that I married into not necessarily understanding like just the ebbs and flow of what healthcare looks like. And so I wonder, how did you help manage that for Mom as
go ahead.
No, just as we grew up.
One is family on both sides. Your mom's family and my family. Nobody else was in the medical field. She is only one. Well, Sue, but excuse me, you're not Sue, but she lived it, but she worked in the lab.
Yeah.
Doesn't count. But I guess ebb and flow was when we moved to Porterville and the night shift started, and your mom loved it. And that was going to be her thing, was controlling the family of when they call or when they wanted your mom's attention, or can I talk to her right now? No, she's just got home. She's going to have a cocktail and she's going to go to bed and have breakfast in between there. And just managing that part of it. Now, I was also told, don't do too much of that for me, which is fine, but just protecting the sleep, the quietness of the house, those things were the things that were needed to be managed more than family. Because where we lived, honestly, they're not knocking on our doors, just like except for me, I'm your biggest pain and the closest family member. So, right. But I don't know if that answers your question, but managing the household is just like Kelly, my background is finances. I worked flexible to make money for vacations. So I was always out financially performed by Cheryl, always, never. And was approached one time, was asked, how do you handle that as a man that your wife makes more than you do? I said, do you have separate accounts with your husband? This was asked by a nurse. She says, yeah. And I said, well, there's your problem. Put them together. You both know where the money's at. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. But if you have separate accounts, they're only for one reason or two reasons. One, deception. The other is you're saving for something else. So,
I think, well, Sam and I are both make more than our husbands as well. And I feel like for us, for me and my husband, yes, everything has just been, it's together. It's ours, and it's never been an issue. Right.
That's awesome.
I think to any nurses out there, I hope that that's how it is in every relationship, that it is what it is.
Yeah. On the best of days, I will say it is what it is in my very worst dark moments. And if I'm feeling really ready to fight, I bring it up, and it's not good. And you shouldn't bring it up. It's not good. It's not nice. But
not in the fight.
You're giving me a mean look. I know. I'm saying it because I know that it's wrong. Okay.
I'm gonna bounce back to the night shift though, because so many people don't understand that. I know that my family still doesn't understand that I have a different sleep schedule. I have worked night shift. I have worked evening shift. And it's gotten better in this day and age where you can, turn your ringer off, put on do not disturb. But when, 20 years ago, when I was working night shift, people calling at, 1:00 in the afternoon, I had to remind them, it's like calling me or calling you at 1 a.m. and asking you to get up and do something. And so many people just don't understand that.
That's why we'd turn the ringers off on the phones. The only time we knew people were calling is when it went to the answer machine. And we're like, oh, God, we better get that. But
the same thing happens when your high school calls in the middle of the day and you know that your mom's not going to answer the phone because you're not at school. So.
That's great, Colin.
Go
ahead.
I was just going to say, I don't want to make it night shift centric though, too. I think that there's an aspect, maybe, I don't know how it looks from the outside. I know from the inside, I feel like my shift times are my shift times, and there's no like making a phone call or making an appointment or trying to take a lunch at a certain time or trying to get off early or go in late. How does that look from the outside? Is that something easily comprehensible, or is that like you can just black me out for the time of my shifts. I do not consider me to be available for anything. And
that generally was it. And that's why you guys work blocks or would like to work blocks, because that way it gives you a life of some sort. Whether it's night shift or day shift doesn't matter, because when you go in early and you get home late and you're assuming your spouse is feeding your kids. Because the first thing you want to do is do what? You want to get home, you want to eat, or shower, eat, whichever way. And then you want to go to bed. Yeah, because you're on that shift. Now, I don't know how you operate, Kelly, but Sam amazes me at sometimes of 3-hour shifts here, sleep here, get up and go to piano, or, this or that amazes me with nurses, whether night shift or day shift, to just get barely any sleep and go do something without being too big of a pain in the ass.
Yes, Sam is much better at that than I am. I need my sleep.
Me too.
When she tells me that she, worked last night and we're doing this podcast at 1:00, I'm like, that would not be me. But okay.
It just dawned on me the family thing though. The biggest challenge is the holidays. Because notoriously it was centered around a certain cousin of Sam's, which conflicted with Cheryl's schedule. So I would literally take the kids to their aunt and uncle's, drop them off, pea soup, fog, go back, get sent Cheryl when she got off, and then drive back again. And if she had to work that night, I'd take her back again. So it always amazed me, but I think that is the biggest challenge for family members is that you guys don't get who cares what holidays are except for the pay, because you have to be there. It's Christmas. Oh, is it? Oh, I forgot. Oh, yeah. Double time. Oh, yay. But it's hard for them to understand.
Did you ever change the day of holidays? I know some families do that where, if you have to work Christmas, then you just tell the kids that Christmas is on a different day.
We'd always do Christmas morning. That was a steadfast, but anything else was negotiable.
Yeah.
Always Christmas morning.
Yeah. I think that's something that outsiders don't always realize is that, the hospital doesn't close, 24/7, guys. And I'm working Thanksgiving this year. That's just what it is,
And I think it carries over to like birthdays too. Like we just had a round of like most of our birthdays are in the fall. And I think I worked like the day before and the day of one of my son's birthdays. and somebody's like, oh, you would do that on your son's birthday? It's a day that has to be worked. I don't know. It's not like I want to, but I think like kids of nurses and people that do that, like understand like, oh, I'm so sorry. I don't get to choose these things.
Yeah.
So, well, I guess technically I do, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So, so how about the day-to-day dad? I think this is where sort of this idea started as I was talking to, a newer nurse who is in a newer marriage and is a newer mom. And she was talking about hammering it all out and sort of the growing pains that her and her husband are going through, figuring out who does what, when, and whose responsibility is what, and when you can be awake and what you can manage. And I was like, oh, my dad has this down. Like he knows all this stuff. And so I thought maybe you'd talk to us.
I don't know about the down part, but again, back to my dad, take care of the household in whatever position you're in. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's not that I knew it right off. And trust me, if you'd ever saw Cheryl's look, it's notorious and family known. If you got Cheryl's look, you just leave the room is your best bet. This is what's going to happen. So, but my goal was never to, have things done so that, my God, you're working 12 hours. It's not going to take me 40 minutes to cook the dinner for the kids or do a crock pot or whatever it is. And then you're going to work. You're leaving at 6:15, 6:30, and you're gone for 12 hours. Doesn't take me 30, 40 minutes to clean the kitchen. And when the kids get to a certain stage, it's not like I have to babysit them anymore. And even if that, they're in bed by 7, 8 o'clock. I, being selfish that I am, have the rest of the evening to myself to fold that basket of clothes so you don't have to do it. Now, obviously, I wasn't the perfect husband, and nor were things perfect in our household. But if you just do little things consistently, like when you're working those shifts, man, just take care of the kids, keep the house picked up. Doesn't have to be clean, keep it picked up, and feed them. Feed them before they go to work, feed them when they get home. Like I said, we liked our cocktails, but she'd have hers when she got off work, and then she'd go to bed, and just have that stuff ready so it's not an issue. And by the way, when you're sick, just stay away from you except for to open the door and ask, what else do you want? Nothing, great. Click. I'll see you in 20. And go ahead.
You as the husband. Is that what you mean?
Yes, me as the husband.
From your nurse wife.
Yeah, but me as the sick husband, God, I'm the biggest moaner, groaner, sickest. Men are the worst. They are. And being married to a nurse, we were told that every time we got sick, you're the worst, which is okay. So guess what? Nurses, open the door. What can I get you? Nothing, great. Click. Give them the bell. You got the cell phone, so now they can get hold of you. But back to your question, Sam, is more of just taking care of the day-to-day stuff. And then also, if the family activities aren't in the way, always take time to plan something, just at least a day to get away, to go do something. It doesn't matter if you just go hang out with your friends. Just get away to break your guys' monotony of those shifts, and you deal with people at their worst point. That you can say how much it doesn't wear on you. I don't believe you. It does to some degree. You need a release. One thing I did realize, because I was the jealous idiot, and Sam doesn't know this, but I came home one day and my bags were on the door. And she had said, I'm done. I've had enough. I'm not doing this anymore. And I said, well, I'm going to change. She goes, no, you said that before. And I said, oh, give me one more chance. She said, okay, go to counseling. I said, I'm not going to counseling. But because of my jealousy, which I buried, because it was worthless energy is what it is. And doing that, I realized all the other things that would bother me that aren't worth it. Mm. Why? What was I thinking? That moment in my life just clarified how much like anger takes over in our lives and we burn it up. Is it really worth it if I didn't fold those clothes? No. But you know what? They'd sit there just to prove the point until I did them. I'm just saying. But back to the jealous idiot stuff. So we work through that, but I had to make a point, go do something, go do something with your girlfriends, get out of town. I don't care. Take the day to yourself. And it really took a lot for me to do that because I was that jealous guy. She'd go on company trips, but there's other guys there. She comes home talking about a doctor, all that stuff. See, that's not Philip. That's the side of your dad that I had to get rid of. And I needed to. But again, it just made me realize, go enjoy your Auntie Sue. They went to Chicago, and that was a deciding factor for me. And that's the one that almost cost us our marriage, her trip to Chicago.
So you're saying not necessarily like, don't always, as the spouse, like make them do something with you, but like just allow your nurse wife the like freedom to just either go be by herself or go do something with her friends, just like no pressure kind of situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know most husbands are working full time as well. And that's their thing but I've been taking care of the kids for the past 3 days and working. So it goes both ways.
Sure.
I guess the point is everybody needs a relief. It's just, how is the spouse going to handle you having your own time? And I didn't handle it very well at all. And I had to learn to handle it.
You just had to kind of lean into supporting her when she was, just trying to do something for herself.
Yes, her and her sister would like to take trips. And and that was a big deal to me. And I heard about it for 10 years about my jealous attitude, after it had been gone for that time. I wanted to tell her, I can't care if anybody hears, I had to tell her to shut up and to Sue. But anyway, you're right. That's what I had to do, because we all need our own time. We love our spouses to death. It's not that we don't want to spend time with them. We just don't want to spend every waking moment with them outside of work.
Well, and I think what's difficult is that, most nurses do work 12-hour shifts. Like you said, if we're working 3-4 in a row, you really don't see your spouse for that time period, besides a quick, hey, I'm home. How are the kids? Love you. Good night. So then I know that I've had time where I then feel guilty not asking. My husband doesn't. I don't need to ask, but choosing to do something with a girlfriend on a day that, my husband's then there with the kids all day again. And I think what you're saying is that you lived that as well and found that it was important for her to go do those things, even though that was like a whole nother day away from the family.
Yep.
Yeah.
So then if you take care of the little things that don't take a lot of time and give some of that latitude for, I mean, Kelly, I think in some ways it's hard for us to know how to, I mean, you're good at having fun. I'm not good at having fun, but I'm thinking something like slightly deeper, like just letting go and being in a situation that you can just enjoy and not have to control or manage. But when the nurse is given that time, Dad, what is the relationship like when they come back and they're able to spend time with their spouse or able to spend time in the house? How is that different?
I'm not going to say it's a better quality time, but it's a relaxed quality time. She didn't even talking about, and it's not female 12-hour shift nurses, even males, everybody needs that break. And again, you guys are in a job that is just outside of the mental capacity you need to know, the mental, emotional, not stress, but exposure that you guys have. You have to release it somehow. How many people that you work with go to the gym every day? Because sometimes that's something for people to release. Yeah, it wasn't us. It wasn't your mom and I. We were going every day.
Very many.
So yes,
I'm more
think
on
it's
the
important.
cocktail train than the gym train.
That's right. I love that. I do know as life progressed and you guys got older and your mom took more leadership roles at the hospital, and that her becoming the house supervisor was just, and I know she almost didn't get the job. Well, I don't know if she didn't almost get it, but she was in contention and she had been passed before for it, but she loved that position. I think she still loved taking care of patients, but she would run up to ICU or wherever there's a code just because that way she got her hands dirty, is what I think.
Oh, crap. She stopped taking care of patients as a house soup. I know that did not happen.
But I think as time went on that our roles the only thing that changed was we didn't have kids at home. So doing more, I had more time to do things and take care of more things around the house and things like that. And that was even just more of a relief. And then if she knows she's, I'm going to work 5 this week. I was okay. What do you want for dinner? What do you want to do when you're done? Because we're going to take some time, because 5, you guys, I don't have to preach to you. That's tough. And just having something ready to do. Or if you guys, hey, I got to work 5 when I'm done, let's go do something. And it doesn't have to be anything great. It can, you can just go up to Wallace, Kelly, and get a hotel and find the 2 local bars and just bounce it. You know what I'm saying? Something to get away, to decompress from what you guys have just been through.
Let's talk about the kids for a little bit. Did you have to explain to the kids, like, hey, mom's asleep, you need to be quiet? Or because she was always a nurse, did that just naturally happen?
Well, so how old were you when we moved to Porterville? 6, 7? We moved in 8. Yeah, so Sam was almost there as far as trained to be quiet. And it didn't take much because they just knew. They knew when they came home. They were just trained to do that from a very young age, because Cheryl started doing that as soon as we moved to Porterville, and we were there for over 25 years or almost. So, and she would never go off the night shift again. And but there wasn't much training every once in a while. But
do you know who wasn't trained?
Alan.
All of our friends.
Oh, well, that's true. Oh, my
I'm like, no, I remember hearing my whole life, be quiet, your mom's asleep, be quiet, your mom's asleep. And I was like, yeah, I freaking know, but Brittany doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, Savannah.
Yeah.
I guess that's the answer, Kelly. They did really well. But on the other hand, on the other side of it too, Cheryl was very gracious of, hot summers of 105. We had the biggest pool in town, and all those kids would come over and tear it up, and she'd be in there trying to cat nap because she had to go to work that night. She was, she didn't let us not have fun in our own house as well. So,
yeah.
I don't know if that answered your question, but didn't really have to train them much. I had to train them to be quiet when I was making phone calls to clients. And this hand doesn't work because I used to snap my fingers.
I was going to say, it was the snap.
I can't do it anymore. I can't even snap my fingers. I have arthritis.
Snap.
I do want to share just one thing about your mom and nurses and their humor. And so when I worked at American River Hospital is what it was called. 2 different stories. Real quick. We had a security guard. He hated going down to the morgue or taking patients to the morgue, but they always called him. That's how small we were. So one of the nurses laying on the gurney as the dead patient, whatever, get down there, and I help roll him down there. She bolts straight up. This guy, I thought he was going to clock her, but then he screams at her, leaves. He's okay. Because he's the guard. He went out to her car when she just got there and knocked on her window real hard and scared the daylights out of her. But your mother, because I married a nurse, my best friend was like, oh, I want me a nurse, is the way he used to say it. And so we fixed him up. And they went out, and she was like, yeah, he's okay. And he's like, oh, I want to date her some more and this and that. So he was running busy, and he's going out with her second date around Christmas, wanted to give her a present. And so he brought home, he goes, he lived with us at the time, Sam. And I know. And so he comes home. He's going, man, I don't have time to take care of this, but this is what I got her. It was a negligee, and it was very subtle, very, very modest.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, and he says, but I don't have time. And Cheryl goes, oh, God, Chuck, I'll take care of that for you. And so she goes to the negligee store again and gets one that's just kind of like, what are you doing tonight? And she boxed it, she wrapped it, and she gave it to him. And then she went to work and he went on his date and the phone rang and it was Chuck. And he says, what in the world? And that was not his verbiage. And I said, remember back at Christmas when you gave me that little toy, you dropped the ball on the top and you work it all through the maze and it drops out the other side. And he goes, yeah. And you threw those directions in the fire when Cheryl was trying to figure it out. He said, yeah. And I said, she just paid you back because she opened that. She put it back in the box. She got up, she left and said, have a nice evening. So he calls me screaming about it. And I'm just laughing. It was so funny. So other nurses pulling the same pranks. I could go through a few, but you guys and your sense of humor runs right along with your profession, we'll say.
Well, I think we have to have a pretty dark sense of humor to be a nurse. I mean, I think there's no other way around it. Yeah.
Have you met one, Dad, that doesn't have a good sense of humor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
only one.
And she probably wasn't a very good nurse.
Yeah, but she had gone through her hard times because she was an older nurse, so the battle axe thing. But yeah, that's true.
We know some RTs that aren't the funniest, but that's okay. Okay, quick, Dad, what would you say is like the best thing about being married to a nurse? And then what would you say is like the single hardest thing?
The best thing is that they are compassionate, even though they may not show it 90% of the time. And the hardest part of it is two things. One, better be telling the truth. Don't fib. Don't try to cover it up. Don't try to BS through it. And the other part of it is that 10% of the non-compassion when you really want some, and they're not going to give it to you because you're just sick. Get on the couch. Shut up. I don't
Drink some water.
Your temperature is 101. It's not 104.
Take a Tylenol.
There you go. So that would be the two things.
All right. Well, thank you, Dad. I appreciate hearing about it. And
okay.
I appreciate yeah. Like I said, it's just I grew up watching it and then married a man who's very easily, I think trained is not the right word. That doesn't sound as nice as I mean it, but caught on real fast.
With Philip, it's for me and you too. And I'm sure Kelly knows your backstory of all that was that he's not a pushover, but he's just easygoing.
Yeah.
So it's easier for him to kind of be in that role than other guys might be, only because that's just his personality. And that's great. You'd rather deal with that than have a guy that may have been something like me with an anger management issue that had to deal with it before moving on with life.
Oh, two of me, I couldn't imagine that. But I guess what I was trying to say was this,
to you.
I think it's nice for you to be able to impart some of that wisdom because I think Chad too, Kelly, is pretty chill and kind of lets you run yourself around and keeps up. But
absolutely. And I think that which I'm sure you saw, Alan, my husband, if I walk in and I look a certain way, he knows that was a really bad shift. And usually I think he will just say like, do you want to talk about it? And I say, no. And then he just leaves me alone. And then eventually I will seek him out to get it out. But yeah, I think Sam and I are both very fortunate in that we have those husbands that take care of us the way that you took care of Cheryl.
Well, thank you. And I think it's always important just to talk, even if it's going to piss the other person off. You just need to talk.
Maybe just talk, maybe not yell.
Sometimes you need to yell, I think.
Sometimes you need, okay, good. Thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. I've met a couple that said, he said, oh no, we don't yell at each other. We just I'm like, but why? He's like, well, yelling doesn't make anything better. I'm like, it kind of does sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes I need to express myself in a louder volume.
And I can't put the exclamation point anywhere. So I need you to hear it. I need you to hear the exclamation. Yeah. Well, Dad, we move into our little questions. Did you want to be a part of that, or do you?
I'll let you guys do that. And I appreciate the opportunity. I don't know if it's helpful for anybody or not. I just think that you guys are nurses, period, and 12-hour nurses, especially, the female and the wives that, they birth the kids, help take care of them and all that. All right, girls.
All right. Thanks, Dad. Love you.
You're welcome. Love you too.
Thanks, Alan.
Bye-bye.
There you go. That's my dad, guys. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I love him. He's great.
And if you call him and you left your badge at home, he'll bring it to you. And if you call him really sad and need a coffee or something to eat, he'll bring it to you. And if all of the biatches that you work with are biatching and you don't like any of them, he'll bring them donuts so that they'll be nice to you again.
Oh, so. I love that. Did he always drive your mom to work?
No.
Oh, just like a holiday thing.
Yeah. Oh, because my aunt and uncle lived like an hour and 15 minutes away from us.
Oh.
So he would drive all of us up there and then drive back and then drive back and then drive back. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Because we do work with a nurse that her husband drives her to and from work every single day. He's just the sweetest man that he just takes care of his wife, and he doesn't want her driving late at night or walking out to the parking lot. So he just pulls up to the ER and drops her off and picks her up.
Yeah, I love that. There have been a couple of times where I've called Philip in a really sad voice and just been like, I've called you 8 times and you haven't answered. Can you come get me? I'm so tired. Or I've been vomiting and I need you to come pick me up. Or I'm out with Kelly at this really sketchy bar and it's 2:30 in the morning downtown. Can you please come pick me up?
It was not sketchy. It was happening.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yep. Okay, good. I would have loved my dad to have stayed for these questions, but I feel like this one's not applicable. Have you ever accidentally only shaved one leg?
Probably.
Okay.
I can't remember like a specific example, but the worst part is when you shave your legs and you miss like a strip.
Yes.
And then you're like putting on your socks and you're like, oh, there's hair just in that one line.
Why are you shaving your legs and then putting on something that you wear socks for?
I shave my legs like every other day.
No, you don't. Not in the winter time.
Yes, I do.
Really?
Yeah, I just don't like the feeling of hair. I didn't used to. My mom shaves her legs like every day. And I always thought that was so weird because like when I was in my 20s, I was like, whatever, I would shave. Yeah, if I was going out. But now that I'm older, it's just a part of the shower. Just
really? Oh no, I still, even in the summer, I only shave my legs if I am going somewhere that they need to be shaved for.
Oh.
Otherwise, yeah. Okay. All natural.
I know a lot of the questions I had were for your dad.
Do you want me to get him back on? He's literally standing in my kitchen.
No, it's okay. If you could instantly speak any language fluently, what would it be?
Oh, I feel like the right answer is Spanish, but I don't want that one for no reason, just because I think French is so fun to speak. I'd want to speak French.
Yeah, it's so pretty.
It's so pretty. But my pastor and his wife speak Swahili fluently, and both of their families do too. And she's from here and he's from Michigan, and it's amazing to watch them speak it. It's very cool. What would you want?
Well, yeah, Spanish is the correct answer because of where we live and where we vacation and all of that. Yeah. But I think it would be cool to speak Japanese.
Oh.
Just because it seems like it would be so difficult to learn. So if I could just like pop that in my brain, because it's so, yeah.
That's fair. I feel like my mentality and just how I'm sort of like blunt about everything, I feel like I should speak like an Eastern European language. They always sound angry.
Yeah.
Like no matter what they're saying. Yeah. Okay. One childhood toy that you would bring back. What do you bring back?
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Oh,
I loved my Cabbage Patch Kids. They were just everything.
I don't know that I have a single. I'm trying to, now that I think about that, I'm like, I probably didn't have toys when I was growing up. Yeah. Because I don't really have fun. No.
Yeah.
I had an Ariel that sang in the bathtub that one of my parents broke. I don't know which one did it, but they were tired of hearing her do that little part where she gives her voice away. I would probably bring that back.
Does it ever scare you? This is just a side question. Okay. Does it ever scare you the things your kids are going to remember that you did? Because I hold on to things like that too. Like my dad did this one thing this one time, and it was probably not, meant nothing to him or in that moment, but it's like in my psyche. I always think about like, what are my kids going to be saying in 30 years? Like, my mom broke this toy right in front of me.
Kelly, you're privy to like probably only like 40% of my parental antics that I just like. The other 60% I probably don't even realize that I do to my children. So I'm not excited for the day where, I mean, Lord willing, we'll have like big Christmases and stuff with all of my daughter-in-laws and all of my grandbabies at my house or whatever. And the stories that my sons will impart to everyone in the room, I can't even
begin to imagine.
I like, do you know how many pencils mom broke when she was homeschooling us? Mm-hmm. I think the answer is only like 5, but I'm sure they'll say like 30. So
yeah,
no. Oh, that stresses me out.
I lost my temper one time with my daughter, and I broke these like glitter pencils and like threw them on the ground. And she was literally, I think 4, and she brings it up all the time. Do you remember when you broke my pencils? I'm like, yes, because you tell me all the time. I'm sorry. I was having a bad day.
And you were being a little turkey.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I do feel bad. We went to Trader Joe's yesterday and I bought the meringues. Do you ever buy those? They're my favorite. The French vanilla meringues. And only me and my oldest really like them. And I was just like shoving them in my mouth, like one after another, doing some like work on my computer or something. And he comes up and he's like, Mom, can I have one? I'm like, no, you already had dessert. I'm just like, and I was like, oh, I really mean it in the nicest way, in that I don't want you to be addicted to sugar like I'm addicted to sugar, but I'm sure that that's not how it feels to your little 12-year-old brain.
Right. I know. We'll have to explain it someday.
Someday. Okay, sorry. You have a real question. What's your real question?
What's a chore you would eliminate forever if you could?
Without
you get to pick one chore and you like never have to do it. It's all done.
Dusting.
Oh, good one.
Never ever want to dust again. I don't want dust to exist.
I just don't dust.
We live different lives, Kelly. I don't know what to tell you.
Like looking over, and like literally there is like so much dust in this room, and I just don't care. I would probably get rid of cleaning the bathroom.
And it would just be clean all the time.
Yeah.
That's probably a better one.
Cleaning the bathroom doesn't really bother me, but I don't like a dirty bathroom. Like my house can have dust everywhere. I don't care. But when the bathroom's dirty, it grosses me out.
As well it should. That's perfectly valid. You should be grossed out.
Yeah.
I've gone into bathrooms in people's houses and I'm like, this might be okay for like your family on like a Tuesday afternoon, but like for company?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that I don't want a clean bathroom, but I don't mind cleaning the bathroom, I guess. I like when it smells just slightly of bleach. Like that's the sweet spot right there. Okay, so do you decorate for all of the holidays? Are you all decored out?
No, I don't decorate for all holidays. I only decorate for Halloween and Christmas.
Oh, okay.
And I have a couple Easter things, but not really. Our house is like, this sounds bad, but our house is really big. It's an old 70s house. And so decorating is, I'm not like, that sounds horrible. My house is too big.
My house is just like so big.
But it takes a lot of effort just to clean this place. And so to like take things down and put them back up, and it's just too much. So, but I love Halloween. Halloween's like my holiday. So my house is always decorated for Halloween. And then right before Thanksgiving, I take that down and put Christmas stuff up. So I don't have to like switch out boxes multiple times.
That makes sense. I think, isn't that most people Halloween and Christmas if they're going to decorate for anything?
Probably. I don't know. My mom is like super crafty and she decorates for everything. Like 4th of July is really big because she lives on the lake, and she decorates for every holiday.
You have a really big house and your parents live on the lake?
And there's my privilege life coming through. I'm
just kidding, Kelly. No, I'm with you. I don't decorate. We decorate for Christmas only because I have to, because I would never hear the end of it. But like you're saying, decorating takes a lot of cleaning. Mm-hmm. And decorating shows me all of the parts of my house that I don't get to clean once a week. And I hate that feeling. I don't like it at all. So
yeah,
we don't.
We use the decorating time to clean those places. Like for Halloween, my husband just like cleaned all the fans and all of that, because when you're taking everything down, like dust gets everywhere. So
yeah, I know, I get what you're saying. It just seems like too much effort then for me to decorate and to clean at the same time.
Yeah.
And then to clean, to take it down and take down the decorating. I don't, but my best friend decorates for everything. She has like a Halloween village and a Thanksgiving village and a Christmas village. And I think one year for my birthday, she sent me like fall decorations, and I'm sorry, I don't put them up anymore. He sent them to me and I put them up for a couple years, and I just, I like my house just the way that it is. If I wanted it decorated a different way, then that's how it would be decorated. But I like it.
You just want it all white all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it is. Okay. I don't think I have any more questions for you this week.
All right.
Yeah, that's all. I think that's about it, unless you have anything else to close us out with.
I don't think so. It was really nice to get to know your dad and thank him for me. And
I will. Yeah. I think he appreciated getting to talk. He doesn't, he's not in the mix of hospital life culture as much anymore. So probably a good little throwback to him. So anyway, all right. Well, we will see you guys next time at the nurse's station.
Bye.
Hey guys, this is Kelly from At the Nurse's Station. Sam and I would like to remind you that the views and opinions expressed on this podcast are strictly our own and do not in any way reflect the position of our employers. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and in no way should be considered medical advice. As always, consult a qualified medical provider for questions regarding your health or medical conditions. We hope you have fun listening to us today, and we'll see you next time at the Nurse's Station.